What is going on, everyone? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Apologies once again this week. It is actually a miracle that I still have the issues with like the lungs, that I'm just probably going to have a coughing attack at some point during this video. I get to edit out of the normal videos. You guys can't see that, but probably going to happen. Haven't been sick forever, but the long COVID's an issue. So apologies if that happens. In a few minutes, maybe 1 minute, we're going to join the Mini Schnauzer 6. That's going to be the one you see on the right there. New today, if you guys signed up for Underdog, the 6 and 7 from Mini Schnauzer, that's what I recommend joining. It's the lowest buy-in you can get, so you can join a league for $3. Payout structure is awesome, super flat. Also, advancement's really nice. Obviously, everyone wants to go for the million in Best Ball Mania, but to advance in Best Ball Mania, it's like you got to get top 2 in your pool, but then it's like 1 out of 16 after that. The advancements for this one are much cleaner. So you can pull it up here. It's somewhere at the top. Yeah. So you got to get top 2 out of 12. Then you got to get top 2 out of 10, manageable. Top 2 out of 8, manageable. So it's a lot easier to get your way to the final, and it's always fun trying to get a team to the final. And it's also a 20 entry max. So you don't have a bunch of pros doing 150. So we'll join that one in a second. We'll probably do the 15 seconds. So if you guys are looking to join in, I will give the cue when to join it. We're going to do the 15-second clock one, so it's going to go very fast. Then if I'm not having a coughing attack, maybe we can do another draft, or if not, fire away questions. So even if I'm not getting to your questions, just unload a lot of them, because after the draft, we can get to those. Okay, join it now. So join it right now, 15-second one. I'm going to join it in like 10 seconds or so. And we'll see if some of you can get in there. It'll all be based off timing, but yeah, join now. Okay. I'm joining the 15-second one. I have to do it on my phone because, again, you guys know I can't. I don't know. That one filled pretty quickly. But we'll see. Here we go. We will pull it up. I'm also on the clock in all of these leagues. Love the slow drafts. If you guys can't, don't have time like me to like sit down and actually do like a draft. Oh, we have a top end pick. Oh, wait, no. This isn't even the one. Come on. I was going to say, all the drafts that I do with you guys are 9 through 12. Like every single one of them, we get a 9 through 12 pick. 2. Okay. Nice. So we have the option. It's kind of getting funny at this point, these top end picks. We have an option for McCaffrey with a hurt calf. We have the option for CeeDee Lamb in like a mini holdout, Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase in a holdout. It's like we're starting to get to these top picks, and it's like every day that we work through August, it's getting a little bit more sketchy with some of these guys playing. I'm still holding fast with the rankings until like some of these guys actually don't get new deals. Kind of crazy that teams will actually not pay their receivers. Like, that they're worth it. You have the money. So it's a little crazy seeing like Lamb and Chase not have deals right now, because you're going to give them a deal eventually. So it's weird, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, again, I'm just drafting based off the rankings at this point. So I'm still going to take CeeDee Lamb, and then I will pull up this one because you guys like this board a little bit better. And there we have that. Okay, but it's going to be fast, so we have to pay attention. Only 15 seconds on the clock for everyone's picks. Okay. I don't know if that was really a question. Anyone else have Jaden Daniels flying off boards as the preseason goes on? Yes. Definitely his ADP is going up. I think Scott Barrett also had him on his, like, my guys must draft, whatever he called the article. I think he had that. A lot of people follow Scott Barrett, so I think that was another reason why his ADP is kind of going up. I think it can only kind of go up so high because I don't know that it's going to pass that range of like Love, Dak. Definitely not Kyler. He's not going to pass through Kyler. So it had room to rise to kind of get up to that top 10. I don't know that it's going to pass too much beyond that. But yes, his ADP is definitely rising. Great start in preseason. A lot of people talking highly about him. Makes sense that he's kind of rising. If starting with Bijan at 103 as a hero in half PPR, would Neighbors or Walker be a better pick in the 5th? So I guess my assumption is in rounds 2, 3, and 4, you drafted wide receiver, in which case I would want to know how many flex spots you have. In a league where you have, let's say, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex spot, you can draft those 3 the fourth wide receiver that would be your first bench, that's where I would hesitate and basically say, was there a good running back value, but also like, was there a good quarterback value, tight end value? It's a range where there's some pretty good options for both those positions. I like between just those two. I mean, straight up, I would prefer Neighbors. Like I just prefer Neighbors in the draft, but I would want to know, how many flex spots you have. If you could definitely start, like if you had 2 flex spots for your wide receiver, 100% go with Neighbors, but it depends. If that's your first flex option, I would probably prefer a different position. When using the custom rankings and input the scoring settings, how much do you really trust off that compared to your rankings? They change up these. I'll answer that in a second. I mean, it depends on what your custom rankings are, right? Like if you have weird rankings, of course it's going to change a lot. If you just put in the normal, like half PPR, normal PPR, it's the exact same rankings. They're based off the same thing. 23. We would take Olave if he's here. If he's not there, good. I was going to say probably would take Ayuk. All right, good start. CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave. Short turn, very likely going to go with a wide receiver. If you wanted to go with Henry or Kyron here, that'd be fine. I think all 5 of these receivers that are like on the clock right here are just such good picks that I would just go with one of them, whichever one your favorite is. This whole range isn't separated by much at all. It's a tough one. I mean, I would probably just go with Mike Evans here. Yeah. Weekly ceiling of Mike Evans in this format is really, really valuable. Having someone who can hit, 170 and 2, he could just be the guy that you absolutely need. I think DJ Moore has that ceiling. I think Devonta Smith has that ceiling, Malik Neighbors, but I think we all know that Mike Evans hits that a little bit more often. But yeah, to finish that off, for the oh God, it's gonna happen, guys. It's been like, I think close to 4 weeks at this point, from when I got sick to now. Still can't talk. But yeah, custom rankings. If you input the normal settings, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex spot, 12 teams, what it's based off, you will get the exact same rankings of the website. So as you deviate from 12 teams, as you add flex spots, wide receiver spots, different scoring formats like bonuses, things like that, it is going to deviate. In my league, I use 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 flex spots. I do use the custom rankings, and I add in the flex spot, and I draft off of that. But if you're not comfortable with it, use the normal rankings, right? You should be drafting with whatever you're like most comfortable drafting with. What are your thoughts on Jane Daniels and Jalen Warren in full PPR this year? Can you give a quick bullet point breakdown for each? So, Jane Daniels is upside, right? He's a rookie quarterback with a head coach that we like in fantasy because he just like runs so many plays and runs. There's just gonna be so many plays on that team. Defense is bad. Offensive line is bad. So like even if they get up, they can't really run on the ball that much. So play volume should be there. Mobility we love. He's still a rookie, so we don't know everything about him. But that opens up. Oh wow, I didn't even see this. A team's doing a Breece Hall, Saquon. They're doing like a triple running back build. I'm curious if they only do 3 there. It opens up a very high ceiling for him. Just know that he has a lower floor as well. But you guys know I'm the upside guy. Like upside wins championships, especially at quarterback position. You can kind of figure that out. On Underdog, not as much. But in a redraft league, which most of you were asking about, drop him. Right? If it actually happens to where he runs for 40 yards a game, but he stinks throwing the ball, which I don't think is going to happen, you drop him and it's fine. So it's really not that much risk, and the upside is there. So I think he's a very strong pick if you miss out on that top 10. Again, I want a top 11 quarterback this season. He is the 11th that I want. We're going to be up here, and then I'll answer the Warren tank at 46. Oh. I like the running back, but I don't think we need to take him. This guy already has 2. So I kind of want to take Mahomes. Yeah, I want to take Mahomes here and then hope that this guy, who already has McCaffrey and Kyron, probably isn't going to go with Jacobs. He can, totally fine if he went like that and then potentially just finish with 3 running backs, but I think it's less likely. So I want to keep that. If we don't get Jacobs, I'm fine with Christian Kirk. So either one of these 2 would be totally fine for me. I do think Jacobs over Kirk here, though. Just given our build, we have the 3 receivers already. We now have quarterback. There's no easy stack here, I would say Rashee Rice if he was on the board, but he's not. I don't really want to reach super far for another wide receiver. So I like the start. Also, it'll be interesting to see. We have two teams that have gone, so a 4 wide receiver, a 4 wide receiver, and we have a 3 running back. So it'll be interesting to see kind of at the end of it. Another 4 wide receiver. We have 3 teams that have started off 4 wide receivers. So be kind of interested to see how they break down. Warren, finish that off. I feel like Warren's a pretty safe pick overall. I mean, we know the top 2 running backs on Pittsburgh are obviously Harris and Warren. No one's challenging them for that. They don't have that amazing pass catchers. Even if they add Ayuk, the team just gets better. I think that's kind of a wash, right? He takes targets away, but he increases yardage in total because they're on the field more. They're scoring more points and more touchdowns. Like, there's be a better offense. So, I don't think you need to worry about Ayuk at all with Warren. I think he's just a very strong pick. If Harris stays healthy, this ceiling is only so high. Like, Warren's not going to be a running back 1. If you got an injury, he'd have a pretty high ceiling. But most outcomes here for Jaylen Warren are pretty solid, low-end running back 2 production, where every week you're not overly disappointed, but you're not like that pumped in him. But like if you went hero and you grabbed him, RB0, phenomenal target there. I guess probably someone I wouldn't draft if I went like robust. I drafted a ton of running backs. I probably wouldn't go to Warren because he's like a safe pick, but I don't need that, right? Like I don't need someone who is safe. I already have running backs that I'm assuming are going to work out, assuming you're safe. So hero builds, RB0 builds are probably where I'd go after him because he does have that baked in upside too, though. But I like both. I'd be fine drafting both of them. What are some quarterback 2s you like in Superflex? We're not far enough in this draft to list off quarterbacks, so I'll go over here. Quarterback 2s. So let's just say outside the top 11 quarterbacks. I like Caleb, Goff, Cousins, Stafford. I think Watson has upside if you can get him kind of late. Geno, Levis, Sam Darnold, now that we have the injury to J.J. McCarthy, for the weeks that Sam Darnold starts, he's going to be a very nice value. I mean, we're probably stopping there. I don't know that I'd really want anyone else. Bo Nix, theoretically, but I don't think that's going to work out. So yeah, Darnold, Levis, Geno, Watson, Stafford, Cousins, Goff, Caleb. Purdy too. But Purdy's also on that fringe of I don't know if he really counts as second quarterback. But I guess he could. Oh, we're almost done. Wow. Okay. We don't have a stack, and we're not going to take Stroud there. So best option is Christian Watson. Oh, no, best option is Hollywood. Even with him falling, I think grabbing the stack here as the 4th wide receiver, definitely possible. His final ADP is lower than this, so it's 4 to 6 weeks. We're about 3 weeks out from week 1, about 3.5 weeks. So that, I mean, theoretically, he could open up on the IR, but like he's probably going to miss anywhere from like 1 to 4 weeks. Let's just say that for a range. That'll hurt me, but when he returns, we're not expecting it to be like a case where he's going to get re-injured. Oh, I would have wanted Watson there. Dang. Yeah, I would probably just go with Ladd. Being boring taking the top player in my projections, but it just kind of made sense each time. I'll go with Ladd. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But it just benefits my team because, like, this is a format where I want to be peaking, in those final weeks. I want to have that correlation. Obviously, Hollywood, a player that if Mahomes is going to hit for me at this 4.11, it's a great value just in general. But if he's going to really hit, we're going to need some high upside weeks. And that's where, Hollywood's going to come in. Would have loved to get Watson, though, at that second one. Half PPR. Neighbors and Stevenson or Walker and Adunze. Probably Neighbors and Stevenson. Even with the Neighbors injury, I don't think it's long term. I think he'll be good to go in week 1, so I wouldn't really worry about that. I have definite concerns with Stevenson and that the Patriots offense is going to be very bad this season. They're not going to win a ton of games. Their offensive line, no matter who you look at, is bottom 5. Some people have it last. I think I have it like 4th to last or something, but like terrible, terrible, terrible offensive line. So the rushing efficiency won't be there, but he will be involved in the receiving game, so he'll kind of like rack up some receptions there. But yeah, I would probably still, even knowing that, lean Neighbors and Stevenson. If you could flag plant, it went somewhere. Everything moved. If you could flag plant 4 players for a super competitive 16-team auction league, who would you be going after? Would not say that I am in tune with auction prices, but assuming the auction prices are like, close to normal prices, I would go after, I would say one of Pacheco or Henry. I would want to be like whoever I think I can get the best value on there, Pacheco or Henry. You didn't say the format. If it's full PPR, I like Dalton Kincaid a lot at tight end. I'd be going after Anthony Richardson for sure. Wide receiver, Deontay, Richardson, Kincaid, and then I would say your favorite between Henry and Pacheco. Henry just depends. Is there someone else in the league that really likes him as well? In which case, you could run into a spot where like you're both outbidding each other, and then the value that we have for him kind of goes away a little bit. But if you could get Henry cheap, I would say him. But then if it's full PPR, I would probably rather Pacheco. Okay. I don't think we're going to go Jordan Love here. I wouldn't hate Brooks. It's a good spot for Brooks. Yeah, I think Brooks is the obvious choice. All right. So we take Brooks there. He's falling a decent amount, but I'm telling you guys, when he's good to go mid-season on, he's going to be really, really good for us in fantasy. But we are probably going to want like 5 running backs in this build, 5 or 6. Do I take Love and hope I can get a stacking partner with him later? I have a lot of teams where I take Mahomes and then I take Jordan Love. Because I have him as a great value. I think he's an awesome pick this year. I should take Dak, though. Yeah. I should take Dak. I should stack Mahomes. Yeah, okay. Just because I have Lamb. Like, if I'm imagining that CeeDee Lamb is worth the number 2 overall pick, then you got to take Dak there because he's having, 1,700 yards and 12-plus touchdowns, in which case Dak is obviously having at least a decent season. That makes sense. And then maybe I can go after Tolbert or Brandon Cooks. Cooks might be gone. 119 is about where he goes. But maybe Cooks in the next round, maybe Tolbert a little bit later on. We're kind of over Mahomes. That's the stinky part about Mahomes. Like, I love Mahomes' ADP. Once you get to him, it's like you only really have Hollywood and Worthy left. Because, recently, Rashid's been going earlier. So, tough to stack there. If I really wanted to go after, is it Wiley? Jared Wiley, something like that? They're like rookie tight end. I could theoretically do that as well. I think we had a super chat. Okay. How early would you take quarterback in a 12-team PPR Superflex league? Yeah, so I'm a little bit different than the community in Superflex rankings right now. If you look at like Fantasy Pros, I think has like quarterbacks like 1 through 4 or 5. Some sites have that there as well. We don't really have accurate data, to be honest with you, on Superflex league, so I kind of just look at Fantasy Pros as your like quote unquote ADP. I'm a little bit further back, so I still think McCaffrey, Lamb, Hill, and maybe even the running backs as well, like McCaffrey, Lamb, Hill, Bijan, Brees, and if Chase signs, maybe him as well. I feel like I would still just rather them, and my projections say they're a little bit better than taking that first quarterback. Another thing I'll say with that is preliminary research. So next year, I'm going to have a ton more research into Superflex leagues. I just don't have enough data for it right now. Preliminary does show worst thing you can do is take 2 quarterbacks first 2 rounds. So don't do that. And what it gets to if you take quarterback early-ish in round 1 is sometimes you get to this next spot and maybe quarterback is kind of like the best spot to take, but you really don't want to do that because you just fall so far behind and there's going to be okay quarterback value a little bit later on. So I would say I'd start attacking the quarterbacks in this general middle of the first round, but I'd be totally fine if like maybe mid-second round, like maybe if you kind of designated your second round pick to quarterback, assuming your league doesn't just steamroll the position, assuming it's not like 8 in a row, but if it is, capitalize on that, right? Take McCaffrey at 9 and then take a sick, other player at the next pick. Like I think people are a little bit too aggressive in Superflex for quarterback. Okay, what are we at? 118. We should take Cooks over Myers. I love Myers, but we should take Cooks for the stack here. But yeah, I would say middle of the first round is the first spot I would want to be doing it. If you have an early pick, that means probably take quarterback in round 2. If you have a late pick, based off of value, what I want there, if people are really aggressive, they're taking a lot of quarterbacks in the early first round, I'd probably take a positional player at the end of this first round and then go quarterback in the next one. I probably wouldn't want too many rounds to go by without a quarterback. And I would just treat it like I want one of the top 11 for sure. Get a top 11 quarterback. After that, get another one in that general top, like kind of the ones I just mentioned as quarterback twos. Get another one of them. We're going to take Myers here. And then take a third quarterback after that. That's just one you like in the later rounds, like hold on, let me pull up quarterback. Finish this off. Like after we take your second quarterback, like can like Geno, Levis, Darnold be your third quarterback? That'd be really nice to get. If not, Bryce Young, you could take as your third quarterback. Gosh, I wouldn't really like anyone else. I mean, but Bryce Young would be like my cop out, like late quarterback. Everyone else, I wouldn't really want any of them. Hope that answers the question though. Okay. Let's see. Am I crazy for wanting to pick Sun God over Bijan because of the running back values in round 2? Full PPR, 10-man league. Hold on, let me adjust this so you guys can see. No, I wouldn't say you're crazy. It's full PPR. Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown is obviously going to have a ton of value in a format like that. He's just like so safe in full PPR and like so consistent. Like it's like every week he's getting like 7 for 100 in his score. And it's such a good offense. They're going to have so many points scored this year. Like, yeah, he's very, very safe. I guess if you're in the middle of round 2, your running back values, or if you're in like the middle of the first is where you're kind of making this call. Your running backs in that spot, like you're probably not getting, let's pull up here just for a second. Make sure we don't miss this pick. You're probably not getting Bijan, Breece, Gibbs, JT Saquon. I would say you're probably not getting that. In which case, if you think you're getting one of those running backs, 100%. Sun God and then one of those running backs. If you don't think you're getting one of them and you have to reach for like Achane, Kyron, Pacheco, because again, it's full PPR, so Henry's not as good. I think it's fine, but I'll say value-wise, it's probably pretty similar, taking like Bijan and then a really good wide receiver in round 2. So I don't think it's like a huge standpoint, but again, if you like love him, and this is like you always want to take a player you love in the first 4 rounds, definitely go for it. Especially, again, go for it if you think you can get JT, Saquon, Gibbs, one of them at that second pick. Okay. Reed or Adunze in half PPR? Hold on a second. I think Adunze, though. Let's make our pick here. I'm just going to say Adunze because I don't draft Reed that much because I like a lot of the wide receivers in that team. There's a lot of competition there. We're not in a good spot. There's no running backs that I want here. Tight end? We don't have a tight end yet. Ugh, are we going to have to go with Mike Williams? My goodness. Yeah. Gross. And what's our next pick going to be? I don't like the spot that we're in for value here. We are going to need to stop drafting wide receivers at some point. But there's no running back values right now. I've seen Lloyd tanking a lot. There's nothing right here that I want the running back position, so I feel like I want to forego that again. I'm not going to be taking a third quarterback here. I can't take a ninth wide receiver. So I basically have to take a tight end. I guess I'm fine with Musgrave. That's not a bad pick. Pretty close to ADP. I need a tight end. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't want to take Hawkinson because I'm pretty sure Hawkinson's final ADP is going to be closer to like 155. So you're just kind of locking in like worse value. You always want that closing line value. Get that there. But yeah, I drafted so many wide receivers. I love all the wide receivers I've taken. I think Mike Williams is a relatively decent value at 143. Probably not going to start the season healthy, but again, we're kind of pushing towards the later half of that season. Can he have, significant upside later in the season? Definitely. Maybe I wouldn't have gone with that pick if there was like a running back I wanted or a tight end, like another tight end I wanted. But there was really only Musgrave was the only one that I really wanted at tight end at that spot. So it was almost like a quote unquote luxury pick for Mike Williams because there was nothing else I didn't want to reach on some of those running backs. All right. You need help in a 10-team full PPR Superflex league. Everyone asks for Superflex questions. I want to be very clear. Auction leagues, Superflex, not my strong suit. Not something that I've done a lot. I have done each of them, but definitely much, much better at like Underdog and regular redraft leagues. But my thoughts on full PPR, Superflex, 3 wide receiver, and a flex. And yeah, so just a 3 wide receiver Superflex league. You're picking 102. Can you speak to the value of skill? So I kind of went over Mahomes. Well, unless it's a 6-point passing touchdown league, you're not taking Mahomes at 102. You're still taking Hurts or Allen ahead of him, even though I love Mahomes. 6-point passing touchdown? Honestly, 102 might be good with Mahomes and Superflex. But if it's not that, I still think no. I still think first 5 picks in Superflex should still be these really, really high-end skill players. Yes, you are at a huge disadvantage if you're not starting a quarterback in the flex, but you're still going to, right? Still round 1. You have a ton of other rounds. There will be values at quarterback. I think you can still lock up 2 decent quarterbacks. So if you wanted to wait at the 102, take maybe someone took, I don't know, Allen, and you can get McCaffrey, or you can get CeeDee Lamb, something like that. I think at the next pick, you can still get 2 good quarterbacks if you feel a little bit uneasy there, and you're going to get 2 quarterbacks that we still feel very strongly about, to where I don't think I would want to take that first quarterback. I just think you dig yourself into a little bit too much of a hole, because you still can't. It's not a 2 quarterback league. You can still start a skill player at that spot, and I just think the value of some of these skill players is still very, very high, especially you're saying full PPR, 3 wide receiver. If you could lock up CeeDee Lamb, he's also incredibly valuable in that format. I would still take CeeDee Lamb personally. CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill if you don't feel comfortable taking CeeDee Lamb. Okay, we're up. We should have gone quicker, but Noah Fant is absolutely in consideration here. I'd consider Lloyd too, but I think I would rather take Fant. I know that it's the same bye week. I feel pretty good about Noah Fant, and this is going to be a 3 tight end build anyways, so we'll just make sure our next tight end is not a week 10 bye. Because I waited so long, I wanted another tight end that I feel good about. I feel good about Fant, good about Musgrave. Avoided that position for a while, and I didn't think they would take Marshawn Lloyd. I think now is the time to take him. I know he's got this hamstring injury, but look at the other running backs that we'd be taking after him. Fingers crossed we get Braylon out the next pick. Probably not going to happen. But Braylon Allen, Gibson, Bucky Irving, these are still running backs that are not locks to do anything, especially even to start the season. So even if Marshawn Lloyd struggles to start the year, comes on a little bit slower, I still think that, talent-wise, opportunity-wise, at some point in the season, we might be relying on him for this build. In redraft, I still personally am just going to flag plant Josh Jacobs. I still think he's an exceptional pick, that he's going to be not featured, but featured enough in this offense to be amazing in fantasy. That means I've been back on Marshawn Lloyd a little bit, but for a while, Marshawn Lloyd was going at pick 130 or so. He's been backing off. I just got him at pick 170. I'm going to take Marshawn Lloyd at pick 170 if he presents himself that late, even with this injury. But again, rookies that miss time in camp, that's bad. I don't care what position you are. Probably the worst at tight end. Then it would be running back, then it'd be receiver. But for all of it, if you're a rookie missing a chunk of time in camp, that is a very, very bad thing. You need time to develop. You need time for the coaching staff to trust you. You just need to get into the NFL offense. And if you're just not doing that, then it's how are they going to trust you to implement you into the game plan early in the season? And it's we want guys out there developing. That's why my whole case with I'll pull this up for those of you who care. For those of you who are, for people who asked to take on AD Mitchell recently, it's I don't think Josh Downs is going to miss a ton of time. I don't think that's the real reason. It's because Downs isn't in training camp, AD Mitchell is going to get so much more opportunity to develop with the coaching staff, develop as a player, just be in the game plan. That's just going to fast track his development, it's going to make it so he's just more likely to take over Alec Pierce, to mix into the slot more on a regular basis, even when Downs is healthy. I don't think that's going to happen too much, but it could happen a little bit, or if Downs, struggles to get healthy for week 1, 2, 3, if they open him on the IR, there are outcomes here where AD Mitchell just fast track into that 2 role that weren't available before the injury. It's camp is a very, very important thing. You don't want to be missing a lot of camp time. I know I just drafted Marshawn Lloyd, but I'm saying at 170, I'm good with that. Where he was going before was a definite no. Okay, we only have 3 picks left. We need a tight end. We probably need 2 more running backs, so we just can't take other positions at this point. Top tight ends, no, I would just wait. So we're just going to take our top running back. Ugh. That's disgusting. We're not taking Vidal. We're not taking. Ugh. That's tough. Gross. I'm going to take Tank Bigsby in the late 16th round. But I think we take Tank and then we take, honestly, probably Jordan Mason would be my guess. Jordan Mason seems like he's potentially winning this number 2 job for San Fran. The number 2 running back in San Fran will have value even when McCaffrey's playing. One thing is, it could turn into a gross 3 running back committee. Okay, there goes Jordan Mason. In which case they're like all being used, and that would be terrible. Ugh. Because, yeah, I don't think we take Mitchell. Oh, man. Gross. I mean, Kendre. Wow. We'll look back and see what we could have done at running back to make this have not been absolutely miserable. I guess theoretically, I would have actually wanted 6 running backs in this build, kind of thinking back. Maybe that Mike Williams pick, I just pull up the pick. I didn't see anything. I literally would have taken Marshawn Lloyd with like this pick. Like that's what would have happened. And then I got Marshawn Lloyd 1, 2, 3 rounds later. Like maybe I could have gone after Jalen Wright. Maybe take Jalen Wright instead of Mike Williams. We still take these 2. And then maybe. Because maybe like our wide receivers were good enough to that point. We had Lamb, Olave, Evans, Hollywood, McConkey, Brooks. Yeah. Or Cooks. We have Brooks too, but Cooks and Myers. Okay. So maybe optimally, if I could have gone back, swap this Mike Williams pick to Jalen Wright. Still take the 2 tight ends. Then we get to 6 running backs. And then we can still take that last tight end and we can have 8 for, okay. That's probably what we should have done. We'll mental note that. I just think, it was a tough spot to kind of think about what we wanted there. And I think I thought we had a little bit less at wide receiver than we actually had. Still going to be a very solid team. We'll go over the team after this this section here. Then we'll go over the team now. Quarterback's good. Mahomes, Dak, we have stacks for it. We're good there. Wide receiver's obviously good. That's our strong point here. Every single week, we should assume that we have wide receiver in the flex spot. Tight end will be fine. We'll get Musgrave, Fant, another one to kind of rotate in. We won't be one of the stronger tight end teams. I still prefer one of those top 7, but is what it is. Didn't see any value at those positions. Running back is where we are weakest. I just realized we took Josh Jacobs. Yes, I'm totally fine doing that. We're basically just potentially, we can get A.J. Dillon out of the picture, locking up all the running back points on a team I think is going to be awesome. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I didn't know that I had Jacobs at the time, but I would have still taken Marshall Lloyd if I didn't know that. But we have both running backs for Green Bay. Jacobs and Lloyd, so we don't care who scores. Just one of them can score, please. We got Brooks for the second half of the season, Bigsby, Kendre Miller. Our issue right now is early in the season. We've got these running backs, right? I think Jacobs will open the season very strong, but Brooks won't be playing. Marshawn Lloyd won't have a role. So we were relying on Tank Bigsby and Kendre Miller in the first couple weeks of the season to be our running back 2. Not a spot I really want to be in, but is what it is, right? Who would we take at tight end as our last pick? And then I'll answer a bunch of questions here because those are lining up. Again, I have the same take with Gesicki is like, I don't have Bengals players and the Bengals are going to be good. They're going to score a ton of points in these playoff weeks. And like, can I just cross my fingers and hope that Mike Gesicki catches a touchdown or 2? Okay, there he goes. But catches a touchdown or 2 in those final weeks. And that's my out for not having Bengals players. Totally fine. We definitely can't do Kraft, but totally fine with Parkinson or Theo Johnson if you want him here. I'm going to do Parkinson because I think he's just a really good value. Higbee will not be healthy to start the season. Parkinson's the top tight end. If he wins that first tight end job, like he might be on the field. He could literally be on the field for like, all right, let's go into, or was this best? No, this was a, oh, good grief. What was this? This was a mini Schnauzer 6. Yeah. Flip the team here. He'll be on the field a lot to start the season. And it looks like he's going to be their starting tight end. So like him, but if you want to go Theo Johnson, if you think he can like win that starting role for the Giants, then go for it. Okay. I'm going to answer questions now. So I answered that one. Finally catching one of the streams. Excellent. Yeah, there's more here, more of you. And you normal, but only 28 likes. 185 concurrent. We've had 800 people join in here. Let's get some likes in here. Okay. Half PPR. Would you take Debo over Olave? London is if Ayuk is traded. Certainly. If Ayuk is traded away, Debo, I mean, my goodness, he becomes an early second round pick. I would move Debo up to, honestly, probably where he got drafted here, but I wouldn't take him here right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I feel like it's 50-50 right now. I truly don't know if he's going to be traded or sign this new deal. It's really just up to him, and we can't, like, be in his headspace right now. This is where I would take him in this early second round range. After this, like, trio of A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, in that order, it'd be really close with him and Marvin Harrison Jr., but I would strongly consider him there unless they do a trade, which can still happen. They trade Ayuk to the Steelers. Steelers do not give them George Pickens. They go for another wide receiver in the trade market. I don't know who that will be. If that wide receiver is good enough, I would then pull back a little bit on Debo. How deep are you into Dynasty? We have our rookie draft this Sunday. What are targets you want in the third round of your rookie draft? Do you guys want to see my rookie draft that we did? I'll pull up my rookie draft and show you guys what happened in that, because you guys can also see it was a couple weeks ago, maybe at this point. So I'm also not gonna lie to you, I don't know how to pull it up. Okay, it's this league. Let's go to league. Like settings. If anyone, draft results. Will that pull it up? Nice. Okay. Okay, you guys almost can't see my pick, which is annoying. So I will do the zoom. Oh, that's terrible. Is that fine? What the heck? All right. Get me out of here. You can basically see it, right? Harrison, yeah, okay. I am the team all the way on the right. I won the championship. Go me. No, you can't see it. All right, hold on. We're going to do this. Sign up for Underdog, but then the Underdog thing's going away. There it is. Okay. This is everything. So that's how our rookie draft went this season. Third round in our draft. People I wanted but did not get. Bucky Irving, I definitely wanted. He wasn't available at my pick. Javon Baker was a solid pick in that spot. I traded up for Audric Estime. It's looking a little bit worse for him right now, but I think still long-term, I like Estime. I drafted McCarthy. That's looking worse, but I thought it was really good value. McMillan, I really wanted McMillan. He went before me. Is there anyone that I think people took too early that could go? No, I think round 2 made some sense. Yeah, those would be my top targets. McCarthy, Estime, Baker, Bucky Irving. Anyone in round 4 I liked? Dylan Lobb, if it's in full PPR, but there was really nothing in that spot that I wanted. So those are the ones that I would say. Okay. Would you choose a quarterback early in a standard scoring non-PPR league with 6-point passing touchdowns? So what quarterback? Oh yeah. In actual standard, zero PPR. Yeah, you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Is that okay? You're taking quarterback real early. Mahomes would be the top quarterback. You'd probably take him in round 2, but you'd be going after Mahomes and the pocket passers. So you're going after, Allen as well, but Allen, Mahomes, Stroud, Love, Purdy, Dak, Burrow. You're going after one of them. Goff, definitely. And yeah, you're moving them up a lot sooner than normal. You helped me so much last year with the videos. You had to get on access this year. Awesome. Thanks for all you do. From a busy 5th grade teacher here. I appreciate it. Should Gibbs be traded now with the injury? You don't trade people when they're hurt. You do not hear a report that comes out with a guy with a hamstring injury, have no idea how long he's going to miss, and then try and trade him away. You ain't getting good value with that. His Nick injury risk this season, long COVID might limit his production throughout. Yeah. There's no handcuff in the FFA backfield, so we're just looking for me. It won't go away. And so this is my 3rd time having COVID. First time, got long COVID. I got long COVID in March. The first time I got it, and I don't know what that year that was, 2021, something like that. It was 3 months before I could actually record a video and like not have a coughing attack, which is crazy. Hopefully it's not that long this time, but we'll see. What's your plan of attack for auction drafts? Have a plan, basically. Have a plan. Look at the ADPs on your site and map things out. What players do you really, really like at that cost? Put them all down on a sheet and just understand what is most likely to happen for you. If you're looking at it and you're like, okay, all of my favorite at this position cost in general this much, start budgeting out a starting lineup and see how things are looking. You got to go in with a plan like that. We do have a really good auction tool on the website where you can like customize different plans for yourself with the tool. So definitely check that out. But yeah, absolutely. You have to look at the average ADPs. Honestly, assume that people are going to go for a little bit more than they typically go on the average ADPs, especially at the high end. But have a plan and have a backup plan. I would really just walk in with like, and again, this is someone who doesn't do a ton of auction, but I would walk in with like a big list of a bunch of players at each position that you really, really, really like the value on, assuming you're going to go with them and assuming what your plan is if you miss out on them, how much you're willing to spend at each position. Because like if my plan walking in would be to target one of Bijan, Brees, JT, Saquon, Henry, or Pacheco as like a hero, something like that, or maybe even Jacobs good value elsewhere. But if all of them cost me $80, I'm like, I can't do that. What's my backup plan for what I'm going to spend at running back? Odds are they're not going to all go for that. One of them will be a decent value and you go with them. But yeah, have in mind what your general plan is. Definitely use, yes, the auction tool is very, very, very good. It was updated from last year too. Who should you target at 9? 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, full PPR. Okay, so 9 stinks, guys. The first 8 players are clearly, in some order, McCaffrey, Lamb, Hill, Chase, Bijan, St. Brown, Jefferson, Brees. Every format, that's the top 8. 9 depends on your format. Our format here is half PPR, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver. Tough. I mean, I'm probably going Garrett Wilson and then hoping I can get a running back at the next pick because I think Garrett Wilson can have like a peak Devonta Adams season. If you can't find yourself to do that, my answer would have been Gibbs. At this point with Gibbs, I don't know what this whole injury situation is going to be. So now if you're less hesitant, you're more hesitant to do Gibbs, what are you doing? Are you doing Saquon? Are you doing JT? At 9, you just missed out on really good value there. I'm probably going Garrett Wilson and being very annoyed. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm saying I'm pick 9. Please, someone make a mistake. Don't take one of the top 8 players, which can happen. You could still see someone kind of take a Gibbs, JT, or Saquon and leave out probably St. Brown, in which case you're taking St. Brown. Having CD, Gibbs, and Puka, do you trade any? Do you know what's going on with them? Don't do trades in the preseason. Like, honestly, just don't do trades. Especially dudes that are injured or have ambiguity. No one's giving you peak value for CeeDee Lamb, even though he's going to sign a mega contract and going to be very, very good. What are the odds that the Cowboys sit there and they're like, you know what? We're not going to pay CeeDee Lamb. We're going to trot out Jalen Tolbert, Brandon Cooks, Jake Ferguson, and Rico Dowdle as our top 4 players. They're going to go like sub 500 and do absolutely nothing. Like they're going to be a laughing stock. And then Lamb's going to be sitting there like, what on earth are we doing? You know you're going to sign me anyways. Just do it. It's going to happen. The deal is going to happen. Gibbs, we just got to wait on. Puka, don't worry about it at all. He's going to be good to go for week 1 unless he suffers a completely separate injury. You missed a live stream some weeks ago. Was that due to? Yeah. The 2 weeks ago one was I couldn't talk. Like I couldn't get a few words out without coughing on that one. Okay, a few more questions, and then we're going to get on out of here. I don't think I can do another draft. Another draft will take us at least half an hour. We'll just keep answering the questions. I don't think I can do another one. If you were to take a first-round wide receiver, would you rather have Gibbs or Garrett? I kind of just talked about that. If it's 3 wide receiver, running back. Wait. If you took a wide receiver in the first round, would you rather Gibbs? If I took a wide receiver in the first round, I would want a running back in the second round. I would probably force that to happen. What should you do with Marquise? Seems like the injury will affect him throughout the year. No. I think it's a 4 to 6 week injury that could resurface, but I think they'll be safe with him. I think they'll, and they also, it didn't require surgery, so that's good. I think they're going to wait. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they just put him on the IR. They give him a ton of time to recover, and he comes back fully locked and loaded in week 5. In which case, yeah, he should be going later. Before he was going at pick 60, pick 58, something like that. He's going at, I just took him at 71. Redraft, that's probably what, round 7, 8? Do you need him over the first month of the season? You pick him in around 7, 8? Probably not. So I think it's still someone I would go after. It shouldn't be long-term in the sense that, like, I mean, any injury could be long-term, right? I wouldn't be worried about it once he does return. Maybe right away, maybe for the first couple of weeks. But as long as he makes the first couple of weeks, then I wouldn't be worried too much. 8-man league. You have the 7 pick. Any strategy you should know about. Haven't found a lot of stuff online. So that's another one. Next year, I'm going to have Superflex strategy, and I'm going to have team strategies. I sampled 2 million leagues. Surprisingly, still not enough to give you conclusive results on, because there's so many different formats, like 18 versus 16. When you factor in all the different, positional differences there, I got to collect probably like 10 million teams. That's going to take me another offseason to do. What I will say is you got to make differences in an 8-team league. Everyone's going to be good. Everyone says, oh, it's easy in doing those. No, it's not. It's not easy. It's just that everyone's going to have good teams. You got to figure that out. Probably have to have a top 7 tight end. Probably have to have a top 11 quarterback. I probably want one of Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar, Richardson. Honestly, I'd probably try and get one of those 5 quarterbacks. I would probably want one of the top 7. I don't care which one of the top 7 tight ends, and evenly distribute running back and wide receiver after that. You have to have good quarterback and tight end to win one of those leagues. Do you like Hawkinson and Chubb increase significantly value if you're only has IR? Oh, certainly. If you have an IR spot, Hawkinson, Chubb, Brooks, way more value. You can be aggressive in targeting them because you do the draft, you put them on IR, you get a free last pick again because they're not coming off the IR early in the season. So you can get a free, like another pick. That's awesome to have in a hometown league especially. Okay, 2 more questions. I missed a scroll. A.J. Brown and Keon Coleman for Bijan in full PPR. You need running back. Okay, so like a trade in a redraft league. Huh. Are you stacked at wide receiver? I need a drink. If you're stacked at wide receiver, I'd be fine with it. You're definitely not crushing that trade, though. I mean, A.J. Brown is worth like a couple spots different in the first round, so you're barely moving up there. But yeah, I guess if you need running back, it's fine. I wouldn't say it's like some amazing trade, though. Yeah, 102. If Lamb goes first, McCaffrey a lock, or should you go, 10-man PPR, go with McCaffrey. Okay. To make sure I don't die on stream, we're going to have to end it here. Like the video. If you guys watched this far, we got one coming out tomorrow. It is the best values on sleepers. So those of you playing sleeper leagues, 10 best values over there. And then Thursday will be a breakdown of Pickens, Higgins, and Tank Dell. And then Friday will be best values on ESPN. So I'll catch you guys next week in the live stream. But until that one, lucky drafting.